Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV and our coverage of the Radical Racing Challenge. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Alessandro Dalladone, Mark Chanter operating the cameras tonight, and we are here for week 5 of this championship, and we are here at Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Alessandro, we saw a pretty epic draft battle for the last couple of weeks, to be fair, Monza in particular. In the end, it was Kane Halliburton who just about had enough pace to hold on at Road Atlanta, but I think this one's going to be much more like where we were visiting a fortnight ago. It's going to be really tight, some tight battles, and hopefully a last lap pass like we saw in the past.
Absolutely, Sam. I'm really looking forward to this race because yes, the track is very long. The track is very suitable for big passes since we have long straights, and the draft in this car is huge. But at the same time, it's even a longer race, so something different to spice things up. 18 laps of Spa are definitely a very long race, and we see some strategy for sure going on because it's very, very difficult to open up a gap like we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, pretty much impossible. A reminder to new guys watching this stream, thank you very much for watching this. But the draft kicks in at about 1.8 seconds. That's kind of the approximate range. And with this circuit, of course, you pick up the huge draft from La Source to Les Combes. It really cannot be underestimated, and particularly when you go up Eau Rouge, it is insane. You gain just meter after meter, and these guys, if they've got used to the draft, this will feel so slow. It's easily flats out. It's just an extension of the straight or an appendage to the 2 straights is Eau Rouge and Radion, and this long 6th gear really does enable the drivers to get a good run. You can just see the straight goes on and on and on and on, and you can probably gain about a second on the drivers ahead if you are second behind coming out of La Source. So really got good opportunities, and of course then you got the back end of the circuit, and even this middle part of the circuit as well, you can pick up short little drafts around each of between each of the corners. So yeah, massive opportunities for the gyros tonight. It's going to be tricky to pull away. Currently on board with Matej Beer. We see him in many a series. Did very well in the Apex Racing League GT Championship actually on Sunday. Nearly won a race, should have won a race, but finished second place. And then his brother's also in the F3 Championship. And I think we've seen Matej in across the GT Trophy as well. So lots of different series, and he's for the first time tried this one as the 21st out of 23 seeds as well. We have to wait a while around this account, so it's a long one, and yeah, we'll get to about 4 minutes 40 into the session, and no laps will be set because you've got to do the full out lap, and then yeah, about a 2 minute 20 or 2 minute 10 lap around the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. In a few seconds we should have the first time lapse. Yes, it's gonna be very important to have a track position at the start, Sam, because the first few corners will be very, very tricky, and especially with cold tires, there could be some trouble. Passing is easy around here, as you were saying, with the slipstream, but it's gonna be a strategic and plenty of mind games, I think, because it's gonna be, someone might not be happy about being in the lead of the pack, as we see now. All the drivers setting already their qualifying laps, and Kane Halliburton being at the top of the standings. We are 2:13.1, 2/10 in front of Erling Bava, who managed to set a valid lap time this time in qualifying.
Yeah, he's sometimes not the best of that. A couple of iffy rounds actually for Bubba. At Monza he was a bit off the pace, and Red Atlanta as well, he wasn't quite there. I mean, but in the end, I think he had accidents in both, so it was kind of irrelevant, but I don't think he would have necessarily been fighting for the wins anyway. But yeah, at least getting in a good lap time this time. Of course, did win back at Alton Park, round 2 of the championship, kind of the one non-slipstream race we've had so far this season. So yeah, we'll have to wait a while, but Halliburton 2/10 clear, and that's kind of been the gap, I'd say, so far this season. Outside last season we had Pablo Lopez, who really kept him on. I honestly think Halliburton was still maybe half a tenth of that, but particularly in qualifying this season, Halliburton has just had the edge. He's messed up his second lap on a couple of occasions, to be fair, but he always looks like the fastest driver, and well, looking to keep that up. But it is so tricky to get those wins around all these slipstream circuits because it is so much of a lottery. You got to have a bit of fortune, but Kane has really been managing that so far this season with a 100% podium record so far this championship.
Absolutely, and that shows you that sometimes you don't need to be the fastest car on track to win, but it definitely is most of the time. But at the same time, you need to be very, very mindful and careful, and know when it's the time to make a pass, because especially in these long tracks where slipstream is very important. If you miss time a pass, you might lose the draft and never get back to the guys in front.
Definitely, as Reinhardt goes to second. What can Barber do? Oh, it's a tied lap then with Reinhardt. So Reinhardt with a terrific lap. He qualified very well back at Red Atlanta, and he's done that again. And Barber maybe a bit disappointed with that. Halliburton has set his second lap time as well, and I think improved. But it wasn't a big improvement, but still caught to the second faster than everyone else. His first lap would have been enough, I think, for pole anyway, but it's so tight from second down to fourth. Antonio Navarro, car number 22, haven't seen him in too many of these races. He's trying to improve, but I don't think he'll get too far near the top. Antonin Titus as well, car number 5, a little bit further down, so Navarro moves up to 17th, but yeah, Titus, you can see there, car number 5, so he's got the 5th highest iRating, quite far away from there. And also Gonzaga, a couple of inexperienced drivers perhaps in this car. We certainly haven't seen them on Friday nights in the past. But Hutchinson's actually still got his lap time to put in here. Whilst, you know, you can make up time. Oh, well, actually, of course, we ran out of time. It's a long lap round here, so you can't get the lap times done. So that's a shame for McHutchinson. But it's Halliburton on pole, then Manu Ray Olago in second position. There's Michael Reinhardt, Aaron Bubba, Kike Ming, Aldis Putaklis in sixth. Then it's Marek Studnicka, Tommy Whitson's, Paul Crabb, John McCutcheon, Ignacio Pup in his debut, Anturas Kundelis in 12th, there's Daniel Beauchamp, Mateus Beer, Dennis Kyriakopoulos, with a strong final lap actually there for Dennis, I was quite late on, Luciano Gonzaga, Antonio Navarro, Eric Hanoi, Thibaut Wagney, Antonin Titus, David Fuentes, Dylan Freckleton and Andrew Dixon rounding out the 23 cars. I think I asked you this last time, Sergio. I think you got it right with Halliburton. In fact, when he was starting sixth, a little bit more of an easy pick, I think, tonight. But you think Halliburton's going to be able to do it again, or at least what percentage chance would you give him of winning this race?
Well, knowing how well he interprets every race, there's plenty of chances that we will see him coming on top also today, but today I put my faith on Manu Rayo Largo because he definitely showed also plenty of speed, but has been very, very unfortunate so far this season.
Could be a good shout. In the race that he did on Wednesday, he did win. So if that counts for anything, I will say Halliburton wasn't in that race. So I think you can pretty much say that's that one slightly out the window, but it's looking quick up there in second position on the grid. Just got Luciano Gonzaga to get on the grid actually. He's waiting his time, but it's finally on there now. Watch out for the cold tyres down into La Source. So I'm just saying super tricky on the opening lap. But it's Halliburton with another pole position, and we've got 18 laps of Spa coming up. And away we go. It's a very strong start for the drivers on the front row of the grid. They try to take the racing line immediately. Just trying to hit down the inside there, but can't make too much of it. And there is the spin further down, and we're going to have a car pretty much in the middle. So we've got another car spinning around as well. So that's Titus, but Hutchinson was right in the final line as well to get his second lap time in, and that's really cost him bad. Putin also dropping down 7 places off the line, and Kyriakopoulos after a good qualifying down 5 places as we start the chase up the Camel Straight for the first time, and we have a change for Lido Largo going for the advantage straight away. Certainly not going to be permanent this one, as he just nips up the inside. Halliburton plays second fiddle. Yeah, how about that incident through the first corner there? Subject so easy to happen.
Yeah, I think McCutcheon went 3 or 4 wide, went in too deep and tapped someone in front, if I got it right. Let's have a look here. There might have been some space between those cars, but you can see that McCutcheon then going around and calling already the night. He is indeed now in pit road already, so for McCutcheon a very, very difficult evening, all due to that second lap he didn't put in qualifying, cost him a lot.
Yeah, and he's fought some race wins so far. Cos McCutcheon got second place back at Monza and was good last time out as well. I think finishing maybe 5th place or something. So yeah, that qualifying really did harm him there. Everyone is still within draft range of the next car. Even Whitson's 1 second behind. That's not too bad. Lots of cars going wide. Gonzaga, I think, has spun it through the right-hander. The right-hander at the start and end of the race is so tricky going onto this long straight. And I wonder if just the cold tyres have let him down on that occasion. Gonzaga keeping the lead. Halliburton not wanting to go for the move straight away here. So we get 1 lap in the books. Particularly long race tonight. We're used to 28-minute races. This one should be about 10 minutes longer than normal. Something extra for the drivers to think about. However, no pit stop needed. Putin has to make up some places. He's back up into 10th place. He's made up 3 places, this Putin since he dropped 7 places through La Source. So seemingly not so much damage on that car. He's making good progress.
Seen already in the first opening lap of the race how strong is the draft through this long stretch. We have now Alibert making a move on Largo, and also Erling Baba trying to go 3 wide. He might have the preferred line entering this corner, and indeed he does. From 3rd to 1st, very easy pass. He cleared Alibert before the braking zone, and now he's our leader.
yeah, I think it was Anuveo Lage and Paul Crab actually. I don't know where Crab is actually tonight. I think Crab usually does this one. But anyway, they were just changing places every time and actually working together. I think it's always tricky to kind of judge the changing of positions down the straight because you basically want to like a cycling thing. There you go, that's my expertise. Where one rider's ahead and then he gives a slipstream and then the other kind of uses the momentum to get ahead and stuff. And that sounds good on paper until you mess it up on their brakes and you start losing each other half a second every time you do it. However, these guys are very good, and so they should be able to kind of just use the momentum on the toe and be able to pull themselves ahead. There is a crowd. In fact, I forgot he was in the race. Thanks to Mark Chanter for pointing him out there. They have closed in, so Whitton's has done a very good lap there, and he's back to within 8/10 of Crab just ahead. So he's keeping himself in play at the moment. Is Whitton's? As Belvo was able to get about half a second advantage going onto the straight, so he's still safe in the lead. But this one's lining up very nicely right now. I'm looking forward to this. We could fast forward to the final lap, but it'll be nice to see these guys in a slalom for the next half an hour or so.
Absolutely, yeah. This is gonna be very, very interesting, and I think now everyone in the top 10 is trying to settle down, don't make mistakes, and just stay in the draft of the guys in front. You can see the top 6 and 7 drivers all very, very close to each other. But drivers towards the back probably looking to make a few spots as soon as they can to get a better track position for when it's the time to go racing hard, as Baba loses the top spot and Alibert makes the pass around the outside.
He hangs to fight very hard as well for 5th place. I say having to fight very hard. Oh, wow. Okay, that was close. That's Fuentes. Oh, they're losing each other a lot of time here. And this is with Dixon as well. Dixon just dropping back. Dixon, who started last, so he got quite a few places actually there to Dixon, but he's losing them all again. Okay. A bit like Monster actually this circuit. I'm just thinking of No Name. Track accident there. I'll pick up a slowdown ever. You do pick up a 1 end. Keep an eye out for that one because you wanna save up those incidents and then go off the circuit about 10 times on the last lap.
Absolutely. And you can always see from our timing tower or button boxes when a position box turns red, means that the driver is going off track, or our system detects that the driver is going wide in a specific corner, so you can always see if something happens or a crash is happening by looking at that.
Yeah, it's pretty useful stuff. My eye is always dark towards the timing tower whenever that one happens. But often, yeah, it's just drivers just putting all 4 wheels on the circuit, as that was a wheel into a wheel there between Kundalis and Titus right there. And Titus, I think, should, well, it could go for move into the source, but they're so well within the jobs and the jobs ahead that it's not too bad. Seemingly 2 different races going on right now, maybe 3 different races, because we've got the front 9. Kutsaklis has now lost the just on Pat, but not, I think, from any downside of himself, just not quite enough pace to keep up.
Just look at that gap of Kuteklis, how much it opened up on the straight. He lost 7 tenths, sorry, in just a straight on Pop and got passed by Navarro. This is huge, and now they will really have an hard time to catch the train in front.
Yeah, because the train in front will be going the race leader's pace. You know, it's not how fast Pap is. Pap is just sitting behind there, can do all his racing lines, and he gets a lovely jump from the guys ahead. So you're basically racing against Halliburton or Barber. If you're trying to catch that pack, that's how cheeky it is. As Whitton's, I think, overtaking Crab, I think, right there. Anyway, they've lost a little bit of time. They catch back up to those drivers ahead. yeah, Winton's in the 14th there in 7th place. This is something that's happened to Matthias Beer.
See the replay here and might have... Ooh, he just went around and thankfully everyone manages to avoid him, but that was a weird spot to go around. Usually you flip the curve and go around. That was just too much master, too much power for Matthias Beer. Witten has lost a little bit of time on Suzuka. Almost a second
going on ahead. So, sorry to interrupt there, Sandra. I saw some positions changing and I panicked. Right there they are. No, they're all collided, but no, it was just a couple of changes, and that's just allowed Witten to catch right back up now. He's maybe 7/10 of a second behind. So we'll be able to get a nice draft here. Barber took the lead, by the way, earlier on that last lap. We didn't pay attention to it because, well, we'll see Halliburton, I think, just drop us. And you know, it's not even tricky. He's always passed by the time they get to Radio. Absolutely insane. And then, here we go. That's Wogney. That's going to be a 1x. He's not going to have that. Could be a slowdown as well, but I think he's got away with that one. And these guys are absolutely leaving nothing on the table as out in the lead. Ming moves up to 4th place. He's got past Reinhardt. Barber also stayed ahead of Halliburton. So no changes of position. And still Putiklis somehow staying in 10th place. I don't know how Putiklis has been able to keep Navarro behind, but it's keeping that 10th place. But that gap just extended by about a second a lap right now between the lead pack and the peloton.
Indeed, and Putiklis and Navarro have been switching positions for the past few laps. This is definitely not gonna help them in the quest of catching up with the drivers in front, especially since on the straight they lose so much time. Baba still in front in the leading pack. Maybe Kane Halliburton is just trying to give him some space, make sure they don't fight too much, since Baba is definitely very, very fast, and they might try just to extend a little bit the gap on the guys here behind and maybe pull away, which I think it's in the mind of all these drivers up front, because it's not what they want to have 6 or 7 drivers behind them at the finish of at the end of the race.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You want bringing as many cars out of the pack as possible. It's very tricky to do that. Much easier said than done. Navarro's had a couple of wretched corners. He's down to 13th place. He starts to T2 on Focusrite. That's something. In doing so, also Crab. Ooh, be careful, guys. Come on, a little while to go. He's battling with Pat very hard. Crab stays ahead. But Pat is going to try to go for this one. Oh, he just backs out of it, thank goodness.
Drivers obviously don't want to concede any position, but with all these slipstream festival going on today, as in most of the weeks we've been covering this season, it's very easy to make up the positions, and the race is even longer this time, so I think drivers just need to calm down a little bit, as someone just said on the radio in the driver's chat, and just make sure they get to the last 6 or 7 laps and then really fight for positions, because you can only lose the race right now in this opening part of the race.
Yeah, that's a very good way of thinking of it. Just a bit concerned for Stupnika at the moment. He's now 1.4 seconds behind. I don't think they were listening to you just before that. As we see Eric Hanoi, the Danish, Norwegian, apologies. I'm not so sure about him being Danish as well. But the Norwegian football commentator, of course. And also, of course, stock market experts as well. So he's not doing fantastic at the moment. He needs to try and think of it. There's got to be a pun out of that. Come back to me later. He's not doing that at the moment. Hanoi in 19th place. Number 11. but always manages to get the most out of his race usually on these Friday evenings. Stugnica staying in the lead then, or staying in 5th place, sorry, and Reinhardt actually doing a smart thing there, just backing out of that move, letting him continue, as Titus is actually up into 10th place. Titus is very quick. He had no qualifying pace to Titus. He really messed up his qualifying, but you know, he's a very high rated driver, number 5 seed, and he's driving well at the moment. What was his last lap? Yeah, he was kind of matching second down to 4th. That last lap was Titus. So if anyone's going to bridge that gap to the lead pack, it's going to be Titus. But even him, I question whether or not he'll be able to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. His lap time was absolutely great, but unfortunately it's not enough, because everyone in front of him will have the draft of the leaders, as we see here Thibaut Warny trying to make a few positions, 3 wide entering the braking zone, but everyone is mindful and slides back into position. But for sure, this is what you don't need to do to try catch up to the drivers in front, and what Baba, Liverpool, Largo and Link are hoping for between Stugnica, Reinhardt and Wittens, since they are on the verge of losing the draft. 1.5 is the gap between P4 and P5. If that draft is lost, I think it will be very, very hard for everyone to catch up to those 4 drivers up front.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I do think those top 4 as well are kind of the 4 best drivers on the grid. I'm not just saying that because they're number 1, 2, 3 and 4. I genuinely think they are the 4 fastest, and they're kind of that Stugnica, Reinhardt, Wittens, probably Titus as well, kind of in that second echelon of drivers in this track. But but those 4 drivers at the top, I mean, if you throw Pablo Lopez in there as well, probably the 5 best drivers in the radicals. So it is tricky to get any time on them. Getting worryingly far away as Fickleton is going all-out defense on Dennis. Dennis 1 placed up, but Fickleton up 10 places. He started on the back, well, on the penultimate row of the grid, penultimate position. Absolutely stormed his way through. 12th place. He's about 2nd behind the drivers ahead, so he will crucially get a job, but he's able to go defensive, and he risks right now, outside of being just freight trained up the Kemmel Straits as we back to the top 10.
Absolutely, we have now 2 different races going on between drivers from P1 to P9. As we look now at the leader, Baba and Olargo going all the way around the driver from Belgium, racing in his homeland for this weekend. And Olargo now getting the lead of the race. It's every lap a switch of position up top, as we also look at the back of the group with Tommy Wittens. Ooh!
Oh no! Oh, that is a
really
shame.
important.
Let's hope he can continue here. Vincent, he is still continuing, so not too much damage. That is a huge shame.
This reduces the lead group now to 7 drivers if Paul Kratt is able to close the gap on Reinhardt in 6th. So this is what the drivers up front actually wanted. Less drivers able to keep up in case there is a battle in the last few laps and the drivers fight really, really hard. You don't want to have the same issue that happened in Monza, where actually our only retiree today, McCutchinson, managed to get a very good result, even though 1 lap earlier he was not even in the draft range.
Yeah, exactly. Stugnica's done well to get well within. I think Crab will do very well to catch back up to those both guys. You think that, you know, if you've got a pack really tight up just ahead, like a second ahead, it's not too bad. because they'll bunch up the straights, and then they'll kind of spread out through the corners. That's how you gain time. However, he's got Reinhardt, who is going to be getting all the benefit of the draft and none of the benefits of the disadvantages of the corners. So it'll be tricky for him, but best of luck to him. Baba goes to the lead. A couple of questions on the YouTube chats. Why are we not paying so much attention to the racing as well? It's going to change every lap, pretty much till lap 18. Only halfway through this race, you can trust those guys at the front to continue changing places. Of course, if they collide, absolutely huge, or if they got any damage, then that could really jeopardize themselves in the closing stages. But apart from that, there's just a change of position. Not going to be too effective in the long run.
We've seen also last time, as we have a replay first of Daniel Beauchamp in the car number 16. He's all the way back in 17th place. He managed to avoid the spinning car of Kyriakopoulos. Unfortunately, he went around in the last corner here at the bus stop. Let's see how it happened. We got a little bit of help by the 6th car of Luizinho Gonzaga, and he is unfortunately the one coming out the worst, losing some valuable time and now back into 19th place. But as I was saying earlier, these guys up front are working together. You've seen last time when Baba made the pass on Olargo, Gaming actually slowing down earlier, checking up, letting him slide back in 2nd place, because they don't want to fight. It's okay to let someone by, because obviously the slipstream is so strong and it will be useless to fight really hard so early in the race. And try to open these gaps that are so important, because you don't want drivers behind you in the last few laps. You want to fight for the podium and don't worry about who's behind you.
Yes, certainly right. Bad news on crowd, by the way. So 1.7 seconds behind. Draft kicks in at 1.8. Oh, so it's close. You can just see it's almost like when they're racing in Formula 1 and the gap just goes over a second. You think, oh, he's missed out on DRS. It's kind of the same thing. And even Reinhardt's dangerously. Reinhardt might be able to catch up. Too wide at the back. Wagner gained 2 places here. Gonzalez has really been in the mix. That was brave. That was fantastic there from Francorchamps. He's gained a lot of places so far, and really going all out right there. Now, just a few moments ago, I did load up the track map because I know that most of the corners around here, but a couple of them do evade my name. Stavolo, of course. So Stavolo, just keep an eye on Stavolo. So that's the second right-hander when you move on to kind of the back straight, if you will, kind of the wavy straight. And from experience, that corner is so tricky in the final few laps because your tyres kind of go away, and I was desperately trying to keep my tyres in shape, not spin them up too much. And yeah, at that corner, I guess just because you're running so little draft around so little downforce around this circuit, that's a very wide just in the background. So it's this one here, really watch out for drivers losing the rear end through there. And I think that was that Wilson's there, just going wide.
I think it was Uldis Puteklis losing the car on the corner right before Stavelo. He clipped the grass on the entry and went sideways. I thought he was actually going to crash, but he managed to save it. And now he's trying to make another pass on Antonio Titus for 9th, but he cannot make it work around the outside. Hanoi now battling with Beauchamp. Hanoi managed to get a few positions out of some mistakes earlier on, but unfortunately still out of pace compared to the drivers at the top of the standings. As we look again at the top group with Erling Baba losing positions. Olargo now back in the lead, moves in front of Baba to give him a bit of the slipstream and don't give Kickening the chance to pass him. And now is Olargo, our race leader, while we are already in lap 11 of 18, so we are already well within the second half of the race, as Kutekisen and Titus almost collide and then braking. Titus moves ever so slightly on the left, but manages to defend P9.
Navarro's just gone off as well, so but it's not too bad for Navarro. Fuentes. Oh, that's just about getting past Dixon. So Matthias Beard trying to gain some places. Matthias Beard lacking the groovy livery. Of course, he is the the German Austin Powers. Matthias Beard also has a very flamboyant livery. Not this time. It was with Navarro. So actually, he was at the back of this one. Oh, I think that's Francorchamps going across. And Navarro maybe a bit bold to go for that one. Very fortunately, there was an escape road where he could grip up a bit, and he loses barely any time.
In the meantime, we lost also Luizinho Gonzaga, who entered the pits at the end of lap 8 and never came out from the pits. As I think Frackleton has some trouble because he's losing a lot of speed in this lap. Either a slowdown or I think some damage, most likely. And he's now in 21st place. We have another replay.
Yeah, so he already had the damage, I think. I mean, that wouldn't have helped. But I think he already had the damage from that incident earlier on with Navarro. And, yeah, once you get steering damage on this car, which is very easy, so it's possibly the most fragile car in iRacing is the Rancourt SR8. Once you get a bit of damage, then that's game over. Reinhardt now 1.7 seconds behind, but these guys are a bit more grouped up this time, so Reinhardt might be able to get a bit down the straight as Barber's going for the lead. It's going to be very tight. Mink fighting this one. Barber really wants it though, and he does get it. And this is perfect for Reinhardt. He gains a bunch of time. That's just what Reinhardt was doing because he was falling dangerously far back, but he's back to within 1.2 now. As within the draft, and actually Crab is doing a good job at the moment, 1.8 seconds behind Reinhardt, just outside the draft range. But if they have a couple more laps like that, Alessandro, these two guys will be getting back involved. And I'd say that's probably the most amount of fights we've seen these guys so far. Maybe an indication of them being a bit more demanding for track position.
Absolutely. Now is the time where you need to fight for track position because we've seen Kane Halliburton staying in 40th place for the past 5 or 6 laps and not even trying to make moves. But now I bet if he has the chance to make up a position, he will go for it because we have only 6 laps left once we cross the finish line this time, and still plenty of opportunity to pass, but track position now becomes very, very, very important as we go back again towards the bus stop. Largo looking at the inside, but he decides to stay behind Kika Mink and wait for the next straight to make the move, since you have at least 20-25 seconds of flat out racing from this exact point to the end of the uphill section.
You may have just seen that for a moment on the time. I think Ming came up as in the pits because he went so far to the inside there. The drivers actually tried to lose the draft before Eau Rouge because then that gives them the overspeed that they want. They kind of gives them the momentum up Eau Rouge over Radion, then onto the Kemmel Straits. Oh, that was impressive from a Largo, trying to make it 3 wide. And then got to be careful on the brakes. Ming in the lead now. So rather fought hard last time round. They was fighting that one. So Largo with a little bit of a side. They don't want to do too much, otherwise the tyres will go. In the I guess it's kind of the peloton now. It's certainly the second big pack. The passing is just as fierce as it's been throughout the events. Pusa had that kind of issue, a couple of issues so far in this race. Not making too much progress. got Pap and Whitton's right ahead, and Titus, who I thought might be able to break away from these guys and set a charge on the guys ahead. Actually not as quick as I thought Titus would be, but he has made a little bit of a break point now, 17 to a second, but it's not enough to break the draft, of course.
Absolutely. And you need to be careful, because sometimes you might be even very, very close once you get to Rouge, to the guy in front, and you don't want to be, because it kills your momentum going up the hill. That's why we see plenty of drivers weaving or moving across the racetrack before the corner, so that they are still 2-3 tenths behind, and they have a huge run then on the straight. Especially in the last lap, this could become an issue though, because on the last lap I bet nobody is gonna hold on and avoid any contact, as we look at P8 and Titus making up another spot. Now he's the one leading this second group in 8th position, but unfortunately 10 seconds behind the crowd.
Oh, there goes Kuntelis. That was Bob and Kuntelis. I think he's got it done. He's up into 10th. There's 5 laps to go then. And yeah, you do want to start gaining some places. Crab, well, Reinhardt's right with these guys now. Look at him. Let's see if he can get involved in this. I imagine he'll probably just wait behind. But Ming, and here comes Halliburton from 4th position. He found the gap. Oh, he makes it look so easy, doesn't he? But Barber is, I think, more aggressive than any of these guys, and he retakes the lead here. So it was Ming leading, and Halliburton kind of awakening from his slumber. Was in 4th place for a while and really pulling the trigger on that occasion. Wittens has had a problem, and producer Mike Trento very quick to find this one. Could be something with Kundelis. He's the blue car on the inside, and it was with Kundelis. Wittens spins round. Fortunately, doesn't collect anyone else and doesn't pick up any damage.
Very unfortunate. That's why you need to always be very careful in this back racing, if we can call it like this. It's very, very close racing, and unfortunately contacts, especially in this final part of the race, are very, very likely. It's sometimes giving, sometimes is taking a spot. It's not very easy to get this particular technique mastered, because you don't get to race this kind of hard and so strategically in many series on iRacing.
Yeah, it's nice to have a mix. I know some drivers like the slipstream circuits more, some drivers like the more tight twisty circuits. Personally, I think from my experience in this series, I kind of prefer the tight twisty circuits, but you know, it's just nice to have the mix, and that's what the Radical enables all the drivers to do. You just see Halliburton run wide at Stablate on that lap. I wonder if his tire starting to get off, as everyone's walking, to be fair, but yeah, just round wide, picked up a 1x, but he should have plenty to spare. As also Navarro, I think maybe just passing Kyrikopoulos, or at least defending Kyrikopoulos. He's going to be leading going into Lake Cream this time round then. Halliburton's pulling the trigger. Barber, quick down the straights though.
Yeah, I think Kane did on purpose in the first corner to just go a little bit wide and lose some time, because he was half a second behind Erling Baba and got a huge slipstream to go past him on the straight. I think that was intentional. And now Kane finds himself back into first position, and you can see now a driver also extending a bit the track, getting that off track to get some more speed out of the corners, because you know that once Kane goes up front, it's because he wants to open up a gap, and drivers cannot afford him to go, because you can't catch him. So Ming, Babo, Largo, and also behind, they will have to make sure we work together and not let him go away.
I've just realised that Crab is with these guys. He's scuttled along, and he's he's tightened his grip. That's kind of a crab joke. It was a very good one. Oh, come on, Sam. You're better than this.
I just gave up. I don't say anything anymore.
Oh, yeah. No, I just feel like it's a crab, innit? So much potential, and yet just not getting it. Kundaliz, he's up into 8th place. This is as high as Kundaliz has got, actually. He's got just got past Putakles. By the way, last season we visited this circuit Boxing Day. No, it wasn't Boxing Day. The 27th, whatever that day is, of December. And Halliburton was leading going into the far chicane. Pablo Lopez managed to overtake him around the outside at the last chicane. So that's how close it came down to last season. I wonder if that will be playing in Halliburton's mind at all. I don't really know how you can counteract that one, but well, I hope for his sanity. It doesn't happen again. Bubba, again, desperate for that track position, and he just about has it. Halliburton probably wasn't happy with that one there. He's probably thinking, well, just lost a few tenths there to me. But he lets him have it, plays the percentages, plays the smart game. And it's me, Bubba, and Halliburton. Olage is starting to get a little bit marooned there in 4th place. He hasn't led for a bit as Olage. All going on as well. That means tricky to keep your eyes on everything. Beer in 16th and Kier Coples has got back past Navarro. So Navarro, who was of course in the top 10 at one point, I think, was Navarro, struggling to deal with these guys. He's now at the back of this.
Indeed, it's a tough evening for these drivers at the back, but everywhere we turn our cameras, we see always battles, and that's the beauty of this package and the beauty of this pack. So I'm really happy that the drivers are having a great time, and whenever we look, we always see plenty of track action. So never time to get bored watching the Radical here on it specifically.
Yeah, it does help that we have the SDK live timing overlay. It's a good segue, that. And of course, the SDK Gaming overlay gives us the time tower on the left. It gives us so much information. Really, our coverage would not be nearly as good without it. So big thanks to SDK Gaming. Of course, you can get a subscription for yourself for a heads-up display, for streaming or broadcasting as well by visiting sdk-gaming.co.uk. Here we go again. This is probably where it matters. Penultimate lap of the race, 17 out of 18. And it should be, I imagine, Halliburton leading this one. Olago's got a terrific run. The track's just not wide enough though. As he has to get out of the throttle, Ming really positioning his car well there. How much will Bubba fight this one? Oh, Bubba's going to be overtaken there by Olage. Lovely move there from Olage. I think that wasn't easy for him. I honestly thought Bubba would hold on to that one, but oh no! As he spins around, anyway, Olage keeps it in a straight line. A miraculous save combined with the commentator's skills. That was absolutely lovely to watch, and that is a big shame for him. And that's those rear tyres, Sanjay, wearing down for Olage. And just as it looked like he was moving forwards, he's made a crucial mistake.
Absolutely. He's still in these, but he's in 7th place, so it's going to be very, very difficult for Olage now to come back to the field in just 1 lap and a half. I'm surprised we haven't seen some bump drafting so far through that section, Sam, because you can lock the bumpers quite easily if you are used to it, and I thought that Olage would give some help to drivers in front. As you can see now, everyone extending these track limits to get a better exit through these very fast corners, and using their incident points that have been spared in the opening laps.
Yeah, if you got some spare, better start using them. Here we go. Final lap of the race is about to start. Bubba chasing the top 2 down. He is going to have a terrific chance. I honestly think, Sanjay, I don't know if you agree with me, I think 3rd place is the place to be right now. Maybe Bubba's a little bit too far back. I think he'd want to be a bit closer than this going onto the white flag, but from what we've seen so far, I think it looks good, but Halliburton, he's so smart, isn't he? He's using that tactic he saw earlier on, dropping to half a second back, so he's got the perfect round.
Yeah, and these might not allow Erling Baba to make a pass, because if Halliburton is not as close as the other drivers, he might make a move later on into the straight, and this won't give Baba the chance to go 3 wide. But let's see from this beautiful rear camera shot, Baba attacking the inside, but there's no way he can go there 3 wide. Halliburton around the outside, Baba in the middle, and kicking in on the inside, and is Baba braking so late and getting the lead in his own ground race. Will he win in Belgium, in his home country?
That's absolutely mega from Baba. How did he honestly find a slot there? The other drivers were very generous, and he's up there now. Oh, mistake for Ming. He's down to 4th place now, so Ming's out of this one. It's a two-way battle. It's just like last season. Last season it was Halliburton and Lopez, as we see what happened to Ming. It's the rears are really going now at this late stage. It would have been just absolutely just stroking them throughout the race, but still they're going off. So watch out through Stabulate for Baba and Halliburton to slide. But we've just got a couple more corners to go. Halliburton was second best round the circuit last season in this scenario. Can he come out on top this time? He's got a good run at it. They are undoubtedly going to be side by side into the chicane. We've just got Blanchemont to go first. Here comes Halliburton round the outside. He's going to have the inside line surely for the chicane, which is what you want, I would have thought. He's powering ahead. It's the car number 1 going for another race win this season. Baba drives it in deep. There's almost contact between the two. He finds the outside line. Now Halliburton tries to respond. They're making contact. They're both off the circuits. But it's Baba who takes it, his 2nd win of the season, his 4th race win on Apex Racing TV, and for 2 seasons in a row, it's Halliburton who loses out right at the last. There was other carnage going on. There's still carnage going on further down the order. It was Ming who managed to get back up into 3rd position. Reinhardt had a poor final lap, and it's Kundelis who finishes in 5th place. And look at the more chaos. It's tricky to identify, but everyone went off at the final chicane, it seemed, and Hanoi only just beating Wizards. Hanoi gaining about 4 places on that final lap of the race. I wonder if we get a replay of the lead battle of the next group, but that was absolutely miraculous, and what drive there from Aaron Baba.
Yeah, absolutely great battle. Let's see again this great braking battle. Baba then defended inside, some contact, and Baba then moving all the track to make sure that Halliburton wouldn't go through him. It was maybe not, let's say, clean, but definitely it extended the gap. He tried to extend the corner as much as he could to bring out as much speed from the corner, and he managed to stay in front of Halliburton. Here instead of the contact between Paul Krab and Reiner, who diligently waited for Krab and gave him the spot. Very nice to see.
Yeah, it's good to see. I thought it was a bit more chaotic to be fair, from 3rd down to 6th, 3rd down to 7th, but actually they were very well behaved. It was just that over-ambitious move from Reinhardt. And here's another one. Kundelis managed to finish top of these guys. Managed to get 8th place, which was hard earned. Beat Titus. I think this was Titus right in the start, yeah. So this is these two going alongside. So they managed to get through fairly unscathed, I think. But oh, look at the late braking as well, just behind.
Yeah, that was Ignacio Pap going very, very wide. And here instead Hanoi and Wittens having some contact. And here the last few cars coming across the finish line with Navarro, I think, having a slowdown, finishing in 18th place.
What a fun race that was. Possibly race of the season, possibly the best race we've covered on Apex Racing TV of this Championship, and we've covered some good ones. I still think Road America last season was very good, and of course that one Bubba won as well. He always wins the exciting ones. That's his 4th race win in these Friday night events, and we've covered I think 17 of them now. So that's like a very good winning record when you're going up against Halliburton and Lopez. But yeah, and of course he is another win in Belgium. He won at Zolder last year as well. So he is. It was all pointing towards him, wasn't it? Aaron Bubba wins out then. Kane Halliburton keeps up his 100% podium record this season. In second, there's Kike Ming, who'll be kicking himself for that spin in the closing stages. There's Marek Stupnica with a terrific 4th, especially seeing that he was the seed number 18. There's Manu Rayo Lage, who'll be disappointed with that slide just after he moved up to 3rd place. Paul Crabb and Michael Reinhardt were in 6th and 7th. Arturas Kundalis was top of that second group in 8th. There's Antonin Titus, Aldis Putziklis, Thibaut Wagner, Ignacio Papp, Eric Hanoi, Daniel Beauchamp, Matthias Beer, Dennis Kyrikopoulos, Antonio Navarro, David Fuentes, Angie Dixon, Tommy Wittens, Dylan Feckleton, Luciano Gonzaga, and John McHutchinson. So, we I've just seen what's in this chat. We will have a chat now with Erin Bubba, who joins us in the commentary box now. Congratulations, Erin. That must be a very satisfying win.
Hi guys, thank you. I'm sweating. It's really crazy race because it's like 40 minutes, like 38 minutes. You need to just keep up the pace and work together to create a gap between the other drivers, so you don't have to go 10 wide. But yeah, it was really good because I had something to prove. I think after 2 bad weeks, and then this is my home track, so I needed to show that I have the pace here.
Well, you're very good at your home circuit, of course. You won Zolder last season as well, so very much keeping that good Belgian form right there. Yeah, I mean, going into that last lap, how did you rate your chance? I mean, where did you want to be on that last lap? Were you trying to position your car in a certain position? Did you want to be leading coming out of Lake Coombe? I mean, what was the thinking there?
Normally, I calculated it. I wanted to lead on the odd numbers of laps. So, for example, lap 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. And then the last lap, so lap 18, when it's white flag, you don't want to be the first car because the second car gets a lot of draft, and then with the third car, ideally you want to be the third car because the third car, if you are close, the second car and the second car is close to the first car, you get the double draft, so you're faster than anybody on the straight at that moment. So I wanted to be third, and then I managed to be third that last lap, so I got the double draft. But at one point, I think Kike went a little bit to the left, and Kane, he closed the door a little bit, but I was already there, so they had no choice but to conceive the position. And the first chicane, I know I'm good because I use the whole track there. So on the right and on the left, you need to be aggressive on the curves. So if I get a little bit more speed, then it's not a problem. So I thought, okay, when I'm there, I'm going to just keep it floored, and then we'll see what happens. And then with these guys, it's always a pleasure. I know Kane and Kike, they always they race hard but fair. So I was really happy with it. And then the last straight, it's like it's 50-50 chance. You want to be on the inside or the outside or the last chicane. And then I thought, okay, I want to be on the left this time. I braked a little bit later than Kane. I took the exit. Maybe it was too aggressive because I pushed him off the track a little bit, but at the heat of the moment, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's certainly exciting for us there. When I was racing earlier on in the week, and we seem to see it as well tonight. Were the rear tyres going off during the race? Because we saw a couple of spins for Jars. Was that a problem for yourself?
No, actually, I don't like the setups of the car anymore because it's not like in real life at all. I was 2 days before at Zolder. I had the whole afternoon with the Radical in real life, and then you see firsthand how the car behaves. And for me personally, like it was before, it's much better with the tires now. You need to play a little bit with the brake bias, but it's not realistic at all that the rear of a high downforce car like this behaves like that. In real life, it's totally different. It's more like it was before. I know some people found it twitchy and like it wanted to kill you, but this is how the Radical is in real life, with the sharp front end, and now it feels more like a GT3 something Radical, but you have to race with what you get.
Yes, and you're certainly doing a good job of that at the moment. Aaron, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
You guys, and then the guys on track, Kane, Kike, and then Manu. Shame he lost it there at Le Comp, I think. It was a shame, but with these guys, racing together is always a pleasure. So shout out to them, and then hopefully we'll see each other next week in Barcelona.
Yes, awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Aaron. Congratulations on another race win. Yeah, we'll see you in a week's time.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Aaron Barber there, winning once again here at Spa. Yeah, he said it just before there, Sandra. We're going to Barcelona. We're going to, and this is odd that I'm surprised we're going to the Grand Prix now, because as far as I'm aware on iRacing, pretty much every series goes to the historic. I mean, no one likes the Grand Prix layout. I don't mind the turn 10, the tighter turn 10, but the last chicane is really a handful. I wonder if that final chicane will be a bit of a factor, to be honest. This car doesn't deal well with the curves, and yeah, will be a real challenge, that corner. It's a challenge in any car, but I think particularly this one.
Absolutely, it's gonna be very, very interesting. Nobody likes that final sector, and we all know why, and why everyone tends to go for the historic layout, which is, in my opinion, miles better. But anyway, apart from that, it's gonna be a very interesting race, although Catalonia is well known for not being a very fun track with a lot of passing opportunities. This car will give us, anyway, plenty of opportunity due to the slipstream and the close battles and the great drivers we have in this series. So it's gonna be absolutely an amazing race to watch.
Yes, it's bizarre with Barcelona because, of course, in real life it's often a dull race in the Formula 1. Although MotoGP is good anyway, I guess. But in the sim racing world, particularly single seaters, it's remarkable just how dull the races usually are around there. It's something about it. But yeah, if we're going to have an exciting race around there, it's going to be in the Radical. And I think it'll be a good mix between the slipstream and the turbulent air. So passing will be possible, but not easy. So yeah, so that will be absolutely terrific next time out. We haven't given a few of our sponsors any shout outs so far. We did mention SDK Gaming earlier on, but we should also mention Virtual Racing School as well, who provide over 50 data packs for road and oval racing from some terrific coaches. You got data analysis software as well, and also setups as well, and of course also Apex Racing Academy, who do a similar job. 29 data packs for Apex Racing Academy covering road and also rallycross racing, and that is integrated with VRS, so you can kind of use setups from both. You can use kind of the technology from each of them, and yeah, really improve your driving performance. So do check out Apex Racing Academy and Virtual Racing School, and of course big thanks as well to SDK Gaming for providing our overlay and our live timing and everything. And also thanks of course to the Radical community for organising this broadcast, and do check out the Radical pretty much I think every split during the day throughout the week is official. So go sign up. There's some terrific grids. Most evenings you've got over 100 drivers signing up. It's such a fun car. And yeah, do check it out. And of course, check out next week as well. Same time on Apex Racing TV for week 6 of the championship. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Alessandro Dalladone, and from Mark Chanter, we are going to say goodbye, and we will see you next time.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.